Here's how to make sure your gym or studio withstands the test of time. First off, beyond the basics, let me just get those out of the way. The basics are knowing how to generate leads or being well equipped to generate leads and increase them whenever you want. And a lead is somebody who shares their contact information, and being able to do it whenever you want means you have to be able to do this with ads. You either need to know how to do it yourself, and if you own more than 5 locations, it's a good idea to know how to do it yourself if we're talking boutique studios. If you own less than 5 locations, it probably makes the most sense to outsource that to someone else. But somewhere between 5 and 10 locations, it might make sense to have a full-time in-house marketing expert whenever you can develop that person. Secondly, you need to be able to have systems so that your team can produce sales while you're not there. Thirdly, your team has to be able to produce excellent retention while you're not there. So when those things happen, the daily operations of the business are taken care of. And obviously fulfillment, right? You've got to have team members that actually produce the product. But if you can take care of those 4 areas, you've got your business system set and your fulfillment system set up so that your gym will grow and sustain itself while you're not there. Now, with the basics out of the way, let's talk about, once you have those things in place, what does it take to withstand the test of time? And in order to do that, you have to be able to do those basic things well. And I say that because nobody wants to have a job forever that demands a ton of their time. Like, for instance, if you're the only person who can sell memberships, or you're still coaching the majority of the classes, or you're starving for more leads all the time, then you're in a situation where you are the bottleneck of that business. You are the linchpin of that business. And you can't exist in that state for 10, 20, 30 years. I mean, maybe you can, but you could probably make more money having a regular day job and be a whole lot less stressed and have a lot less risk, for sure. So for something to be sustainable, your team has to be able to do those things for you, because you're going to want to take a vacation at some point. You're going to want to do other things besides the day-to-day jobs and tasks that it requires to run your business. So that's level 1, having those things set up so they happen without you. Level 2, once we've got that down, would be to develop what I call a moat around your business. And to do this really well, there are 2 main things that I see, and you could maybe make it 3. Like, I'll give you 3 things that are the top things for creating this moat around your business. Number 1 is having a big list of people that are opted in, that have opted in to receiving your communication, and not just email addresses, because the response rate from email addresses is falling off a cliff and has been for the last few years. You need to have a large opted in list that includes emails and cell phone numbers. The bigger your list is, the more opportunities you will have to sell to the people in your list. Now, I know everybody says, oh, my list is all beaten up, and oh, we've contacted everyone in there and they haven't joined, but I'll share something with you about your list that'll help you get more sales for the rest of your life without ad spend from your list in just a minute here. The second thing that you'll want to do is increase your ranking on review sites. Now, there's of course Google Maps, there's Yelp, and there's all sorts of other things that pop up from time to time, but Google Maps and Yelp are the 2 big review sites. And the higher you're ranked in those sites, the harder it is for a new competitor to enter your market and take your market share away from you because of how highly ranked you are. Actually, when I advise owners on where they should locate their business, or when they should open up, what they should do for pre-sale to have a couple hundred members before they open the doors and all that kind of stuff, is I look in a particular area and I see who is well ranked on Google Maps and on Yelp. If somebody is just a behemoth on Google Maps and Yelp, that's a direct competitor for what they want to do, a lot of times I'll say, well, that could be a challenging area because of X, Y, and Z. You're gonna have a hard time capturing the majority of the organic traffic there. What about this? What about that? And so those are one of the things that are worth evaluating. that can protect you from people even considering opening in your area. And then after they do, they'll have a hard time capturing the organic traffic that you've already secured. By the way, if you're interested in my advice, whether you should focus on Yelp or Google, I, in most situations, would recommend putting the majority of your eggs in the Google Maps basket. Why? Because Google owns the internet. So a new platform like a Yelp has to acquire traffic and they have to provide a great product. Well, Google doesn't have to acquire traffic. They already own the traffic of the whole internet. So they can just provide a great product. They don't have to work as hard to get traffic, if that makes sense. And so of the two organizations, Google, in my opinion, is the safer bet. I can't say what's going to happen in the next couple months or couple years, but I can say that it's, in my opinion, likely to be a safer bet to focus on Google Maps. The third thing that I would encourage you to do, not a lot of people know about this, but your URL, your business's URL, the older that URL is, the more likely Google is to count it as a trustworthy URL. So the longer your URL has been around, the harder it is for other people to get the search traffic on Google and to rank high in all of the platforms. So those are the three main things. Once you're past the basics and you've trained your team, you've got leads, you've trained your team to do sales, you've trained your team to do retention, and your team is managing fulfillment for you, beyond those basics, it would be grow a huge list of phone numbers and email addresses, focus on elevating your review ranking, and third, don't change the URL. Don't change the business URL. Don't change your website's URL. Now, I know I said that I was going to tell you a little bit about how to get the most out of that list of leads. So here's a story. One of the studios that I own has a very large list because it's been around for, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years, I think 7 years now. And that studio has, since its beginning, consistently generated leads. So there are thousands of people in the list of leads. And these days, we're able to book 20 appointments per week from the list for 3 or 4 months in a row before we have to start over again at the beginning of the list. Now, everybody always thinks about new leads, and they think about, oh, no one in my list is responsive, none of them bought, like they're dead. Not true. Because there are several categories of people. Some people opt in because they want the thing now. Some people opt in because they might want the thing later. Some people opt in now and buy something else and then eventually come back around to buy your thing later. Most people are only capturing the category of people who want to buy the thing now, and then they think that everyone else is dead and gone, but that's not true. The majority of your leads still live in your area. Even in a high turnover area, the majority of your leads will still be local most of the time. And if you're not in a military town, if the majority of your list is not college students or something weird like that, in almost every situation, the majority of your leads will be in your area for 5 years or more, and even beyond that. So why would you go out and spend money to acquire a new lead when you already have a lead in your existing list that all you have to do is run an offer to those leads, similar to the offer that you would run in ads, to wake them back up and bring them in, and you don't even have to spend any money on ads. So we do that in one of my locations, and in the other 5, we do the same thing. The lists in the other locations aren't quite as big, but we're able to produce hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in through the doors every single year without any ad spend at all by utilizing our databases, our list of contacts very well. Easy to mess up, easy to do wrong. If you don't do it right, the response will be very low, and you'll also get a lot of opt-outs, so you can dwindle that list down. But our goal is to grow the list while farming the list. So think about it like that. And obviously, if you want someone to do that for you, my team does the follow-up and produces booked appointments and generates the leads in my 6 locations. And we also do that for other gym owners as well. If you want some free resources too, by the way, there's a link below this video, and if you click that link, it'll give you free resources for gym membership growth. It will also give you access to the gym membership sales book. I wrote that book a little while ago, and if you're a reader, you're interested in improving your own knowledge and your own ability to grow your business, that's a good source. And then the third option that'll be available there is you can schedule a call. And if you schedule a call with my team at Members on Demand, they'll help you figure out if getting our help and bringing more people in through the doors is a good fit for your situation. But remember, when you're looking to build a moat around your business, once all the daily operations are being taken care of without you, build your list and make sure that you grow in the search engine ranking sites like Yelp and Google Maps, and make sure that you don't change the URL of that website. If you want us to bring people in through the doors for you, click the link below and the team and I will see you there.